We all have dreams, big goals, ambitions that make us excited about the future. But for many of us, there's one problem. We keep saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." Tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month. And before we know it, years have passed, and we're still in the same place, with the same unfulfilled dreams, still making the same excuses. If this sounds like you, it's time for a change. Because here's the truth: being ambitious means nothing if you don't take action. Ambition without effort is just daydreaming. And if you're someone who keeps delaying, procrastinating, and telling yourself that you'll start later, you're not just wasting time, you're sabotaging your own future. Let's start with why this happens in the first place. If you consider yourself ambitious but lazy, you might recognize some of these patterns. 1. Fear of failure. You tell yourself that you'll start tomorrow because deep down, you're afraid you won't be good enough. If you never start, you never have to face the possibility of failing. 2. Perfectionism. You feel like you need the perfect plan before you can begin. You overthink, overanalyze, and end up doing nothing. 3. Lack of urgency. When there's no immediate consequence for not doing something, it's easy to keep putting it off. You convince yourself that there's still plenty of time, but the truth is, time is slipping away faster than you think. 4. Instant gratification over long-term rewards. Scrolling through social media, watching Netflix, or playing video games feels good right now. But chasing short-term pleasure keeps you from building the life you actually want. 5. Overestimating the future you. You imagine that tomorrow you'll be more motivated, more disciplined, and somehow ready to start. But the truth is, if you don't take action today, tomorrow will be exactly the same. So, how do you break this cycle? How do you go from being someone who constantly delays to someone who actually makes things happen? Step 1. Change your identity. You don't need another productivity hack. You need an identity shift. Right now, you see yourself as someone who's ambitious but lazy. That identity is holding you back. Instead, start telling yourself, "I am someone who takes action. I get things done. I follow through." This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about training your brain to see yourself differently. When you believe that you are the kind of person who gets things done, your actions will start to align with that belief. Step 2. Stop trusting motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some days, you feel like doing the work. Other days, you don't. If you rely on motivation, you'll always be stuck in the cycle of waiting for the right moment. Instead, rely on discipline and systems. Discipline means doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Systems mean setting up your life in a way that makes it easier to take action. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to write, set a daily word count and stick to it. If you want to learn a skill, schedule time for it just like you would a job or class. Make it automatic. Make it non-negotiable. Step 3. Set small, immediate goals. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is that their goals feel overwhelming. If you tell yourself, "I need to start a business," that's too vague. It's too big. Your brain doesn't know where to begin, so you put it off. Instead, break it down into small, clear, immediate steps. Instead of "I need to start a business," say, "I will research 5 business ideas today." Instead of "I need to get in shape," say, "I will do 10 push-ups right now." Instead of "I need to learn a new skill," say, "I will watch a 10-minute tutorial today." When you make things small and actionable, you remove the mental resistance. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. Step 4. Create consequences for inaction. The reason you procrastinate is because there's no immediate consequence. If you don't go to the gym today, nothing bad happens, at least not right away. But what if you created real consequences? Accountability. Tell someone your goal and ask them to check in on you. Financial commitment. Put money on the line. If you don't follow through, you lose it. Public commitment. Announce your goal publicly so you feel pressure to follow through. When you create consequences, you make procrastination painful. And when procrastination is painful, you stop doing it. Step 5. Build momentum. The hardest part is starting, but once you start, momentum takes over. Think about it. If you do something today, even if it's small, you're more likely to do it again tomorrow. But if you skip today, you're more likely to skip tomorrow too. So focus on just getting started. Tell yourself, I'll do it for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of writing. 5 minutes of exercise. 5 minutes of studying. Most of the time, you'll keep going past 5 minutes. But even if you don't, you've already built the habit of showing up. Step 6. Stop making excuses. Let's be honest, most excuses are lies we tell ourselves. I don't have time. Yes, you do. You just spend it on things that don't matter. I'm too tired. But you still find energy to scroll through social media or binge watch shows. I'll do it when I feel ready. You'll never feel ready. You just have to start. Stop giving yourself an easy way out. The more you let yourself make excuses, the weaker your discipline becomes. Step 7. Accept that it won't be perfect. Perfectionism is just another form of procrastination. You tell yourself that you need to wait until you have the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, or the perfect timing. But here's the truth: it will never be perfect. You will make mistakes. You will feel uncomfortable. You will struggle. But that's how growth works. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to start before you feel ready, take imperfect action, and learn as you go. The time is now. You've been telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow for too long, but tomorrow never comes. The time to act is right now. Not next week, not next month, not when you feel like it. Now. If you keep waiting, you'll wake up one day full of regret, realizing that all the time you wasted could have been spent building the life you wanted. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Take one small step today, and then another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll be the person who actually follows through. The person who doesn't just talk about their dreams, but actually makes them happen. And that is the person you were meant to be.